Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer from VIPS TV. Today we're going to practice sentences with that and that sounds. Firstly, we need to know that after to be is an adjective or a noun or a pronoun, and after a verb sound is an adjective. So, after that will be an adjective or a noun or a pronoun, and after that sounds will be an adjective. Now, let's get started with that. That's right. That's right. That's okay. That's okay. That's correct. That's correct. That's great. That's great. That's fine. That's fine. That's good. That's good. That's perfect. That's perfect. That's interesting. That's interesting. That's very interesting. That's very interesting. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. That's nice. That's nice. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's useful. That's useful. That's very helpful. That's very helpful. That's cool. That's cool. That's true. That's true. That's easy. That's easy. That's funny. That's funny. That's very important. That's very important. That's very kind. That's very kind. That's expensive. That's expensive. That's very cheap. That's very cheap. That's acceptable. That's acceptable. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. That's incredible. That's incredible. That's very personal. That's very personal. That's very close. That's very close. That's terrible. That's terrible. That's too bad. That's too bad. That's too big. That's too big. That's too many. That's too many. That's better. That's better. That's Peter. That's Peter. That's my mother. That's my mother. That's mine. That's mine. That's all. That's all. That's all right. That's all right. That's all I know. That's all I know. That's all we need. That's all we need. That's good advice. That's good advice. That's great news. That's great news. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. That's the photo of Jennifer. That's the photo of Jennifer. That's a good question. That's a good question. That's an interesting question. That's an interesting question. That's the secret. That's the secret. That's a long day. That's a long day. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. That's a good guess. That's a good guess. That's a pretty name. That's a pretty name. That's the best place. That's the best place. That's not really true. That's not really true. That's not correct. That's not correct. That's not a problem. That's not a problem. That's not so difficult. That's not so difficult. That's not allowed. That's not allowed. That's not good enough. That's not good enough. That's not exactly. That's not exactly. Next, let's move to that sounds. That sounds good. That sounds good. That sounds fine. That sounds fine. That sounds nice. That sounds nice. That sounds great. That sounds great. That sounds interesting. That sounds interesting. That sounds exciting. That sounds exciting. That sounds very difficult. That sounds very difficult. That sounds very nice. That sounds very nice. That sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty good. That sounds quite reasonable. That sounds quite reasonable. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like and share. See you in the next video. Goodbye.